I mentioned that bar because everybody's definition of happiness is different. Some people put on this facade on social media and show like, man, I'm so fucking happy. And for me personally, I'm afraid to say that I'm happy a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm. People will make it seem. I mean, going back to that bar, people will make it seem like they're happy when they're really like fucking miserable, bro. And that like kind of creates a domino effect where the person seeing that it's like, damn, they're in Cancun, and they're having the time of their life, but you don't know that they're fucking like doing terrible right now in their own like head, you know. And they're not happy. They just want to show that they're happy. Now that person's gonna go and do the same thing and like, post a picture of going to Rome literally and save the pictures on the phone.
This is Sad Boy Radio.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sad Boy Radio. I'm your host, Matt. You know how we do here, but we're going to get into it already. Today, I got a new special guest, very famous in Pilsen, very famous at UIC, very famous all over Chicago, Ceasedays. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's up, man? I go by Ceasedays, DJ, event manager. I do a whole bunch of shit, man.
You're going to learn a lot about him today because he does a whole bunch of fucking shit. Before we get into it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you fucking subscribe because I got a lot of people hitting me up and I don't see these subscriptions going up. So I'm like...
Gotta get the numbers up, man.
For real. I appreciate the follows, though. All right, bro, man. It's been a minute. I'm glad that you're finally here. I don't know if we ever talked about it, but I definitely talked to Cooley about like having you guys on back in the day when we first started this shit. So, man, everything comes full circle. I do want to ask you right off the bat because you mentioned that you want to talk about mental health. So, where are you mentally right now?
Well, it's a process, right? So it's not something that you get better at in one day. It's something that's it's a process, right? So, you take it day by day. Where am I right now? I'm growing every day, man. Fortunately, I'm better than where I was, 2-3 months ago, and 2-3 months from now is gonna be hopefully better than what I am today. So it's just a process, bro. But I mean, so far so good. No crazy issues. Just getting through life,
Facts. Before we take a trip down to 2-3 months ago, we're gonna take a trip down a couple years ago. So, I know a little bit about you. I've done my research. I do my research on every guest that comes through. You're a member of Sigma Lambda Beta, member of 3AM, former member of UIC Radio, and your most prominent role is Desvelados.
Okay.
Where were you mentally when you did UIC Radio?
Man, UIC Radio, it's, what was it, 2013? So close to 10 years ago. I was a freshman at UIC. Got noticed by the people that were part of UIC Radio, as well as like people that were students there. Got approached with an opportunity to run a radio show, and I was like, "Yo, I want to be on the radio. I want to DJ." Obviously, I was already a DJ by then, and I took it. And my initial idea for it was just to DJ for 2 hours a day, nothing crazy. And then I started inviting my friends, part of the 3M guys. That DJ'd, and it just took off from there, man. We just started inviting more and more people to the show, and eventually started interviewing them, and then they gave us more guests to bring onto the show, and it just like it blew up out of nowhere, We ended up getting people like Taylor Bennett on there, and then that evolved into us DJing shows with them. King Louie, Hollywood Holt, a bunch of Chicago rappers, man. Rappers, DJs, entertainers, artists, all sorts of things, man. So it was a really beautiful thing. We ran that for 6 years, so.
Yeah. And how do you feel like that experience with all those different rappers has helped you grow musically, even as a DJ?
Yeah, so as a DJ, man, I definitely got to experience a lot of like different events in the city and really got exposed to the culture in Chicago. As far as like art and music goes, I think that if it wasn't for UIC Radio, bro, like I wouldn't have had so many doors open as they did. It's crazy how that happens. And throughout that process, I ended up like doing a whole bunch of other things that I do now, which include like house soul and stuff like that. But it's wild, man. It's a lot, bro, because it's 6 years. I mean, we were there every single week, and I was DJing at UIC as well. So Yeah, bro, it was a crazy experience, man, for sure.
Yeah, 6 years is a long time, bro. You can't erase the memories that you make throughout 6 years, or the experience that you gain. There's just so much that goes into that. We're definitely gonna touch on it more, but we're gonna continue down this road. And just so you know, I got this idea from fucking. Have you watched the Drink Champs episode with Big Sean?
I didn't see the Big Sean one. I've seen part of the Kanye one, and I saw most recently the Twista one.
Okay, so the Big Sean one, they have a part where he asks him, where were you at the time of this album being made? So when Hall of Fame was made, when Dark Sky Paradise, all that shit. And bro, he gives some fucking crazy ass answers. You should definitely watch it. So now we'll touch on the betas. Where were you mentally when you joined them?
For me, man, they had a lot of different things to offer that I was really interested in. Since I was in high school, shit, even before that, I was really interested in serving my community, and that's still a thing that I'm super interested in now. I just didn't know how to go about it at the time, and that's when I met the betas. I met Ricky, who's original Coolie, and he literally opened my eyes to a whole different world that I didn't know existed.
Yeah, damn, he gave out the government, bro. He gave out the government right now.
Yeah, at the time, because at the time it wasn't original Cool. It was Ricardo, and then his line name, and then eventually it turned into Cool, original Cool. So process, right?
Okay, so then 3 a.m. How old were you and where were you mentally for that?
Yeah, I didn't know you were gonna bring that up. Honestly, it's crazy that you did, because a lot of people don't remember that, or don't necessarily understand why it's important to me. And it was honest. The real crazy part about it is that UIC Radio, the betas, and 3 a.m. all happened around the same time, which was my freshman year, my first semester of college, really. 3 a.m. happened because me and my best friend Serna linked up with Anum, who was a DJ and also did graffiti at that time, and was one of the main members from 3 a.m. We ended up going to his house for a DJ session, and that's where I met a lot of the guys. And sessions like that just ended up happening all the time. It was in his garage, and yeah, man, it just we shared a lot of the same interests. We were all into art and graffiti, the street scene, and the hip hop scene in Chicago, as well as DJing. And we were all around the same age as well, so that's kind of how that came apart. And then we just ended up uniting, and yeah, bro, it's whew, man. I did not expect that at all, bro.
Taking you down memory lane right now.
Yeah, bro, man. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, how did we actually meet? But that's really what it was. Yeah. So instead of just being a graffiti crew, now we have a music wing, where we have people that want to rap, people that DJ, and want to focus on beat production, right? So now it's a whole different side of just the graffiti crew. And of course, Aldrin was part of that as well. He started doing the shirt printing and the clothes making at that time. And yeah, man, that's kind of how that came about. For me, I think that was summer 2013, or fall of 2013 for sure. But all three of those were about the same time, yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy, bro. And you're gonna be surprised by a lot of the shit I know, low key.
Okay.
Just cause I didn't follow the page.
Yeah.
I still knew who you were. I still peeped. You know what I'm saying? So
I did my research on you too. So there's that.
I'm just saying, but yeah, I mean that's super dope, especially that you guys have those creative outlets. It's not just graffiti and it's not just painting anymore. It's evolved into something much bigger, and we're gonna get into so much more of that even down the line. But the last group, Desvelados.
Yeah.
Go ahead and talk about that and where you were mentally when that started.
Yeah, Desvelados was, man, that's really what I'm focusing on right now. And similarly to 3M, I mean, we all do a whole bunch of different stuff, and I think it was cool that said that we're like the Latino Wu-Tang Clan in a sense, right? It's a whole bunch of different members that bring a lot to the table, but when we all get together, we do crazy shit, man. And that's really what it is, man. I mean, we have DJs, we have Cool, who's a graphic designer. We have people that do security. We have Trent that's a bartender. It's pretty great stuff, man. But the way that kind of formed, man, we were all just kind of like DJing on our own, and that turned into like, hey, like we had already known about each other for a long time. Specifically, like, let's see, Cheech, M-Dog, and Psycho, they had been knowing each other for a while. And then on my side, it was like me, Anum, and Nico, who were part of the 3M crew. So that's kind of how that came apart. Later on, we brought in Light, who's from the north side, and that's as far as the DJ side goes. And then Cool, he came out to a couple of our events, and was like, hey, like, you know, he just started like drawing, because that's what he does, right? He draws ideas and stuff, and after one late night, he drew something out. And it was like something that, like, the people that don't sleep or something like that, right? And if you translate that into Spanish, the actual word is Los Desvelados, you know, because it was a bunch of us at the time. So he listed them out, and he sent it to me, and I think, if I remember correctly, I'm like, yo, like, that's a solid lineup. You know, it's a solid group of people there. Like, yo, like, we're pretty much like the generals of the south side of Chicago as far as music goes, man. And that's kind of how that came about. And, you know, if it wasn't for Cool, I think we'd still be doing our own individual things, man. But because of that, like, that's kind of how that happened, yo. It's crazy how stuff happens, you know. I don't know. And that was a few years ago. And now we've just evolved into something more complex and, you know, organized. So
Yeah. So to answer the question, to go back to the question, right? Okay. I love that you gave your origin story into the groups, right? Now, for you mentally, I want to know specifically mentally, where were you when Desvelados started?
Shit, I don't even remember.
You don't even remember? Damn,
No.
bro. So I'll be recalling shit like that. Yeah. But the reason I ask you is because I want to come back to where are you now, right?
Right, for sure.
How has your mindset changed from when you joined these groups to now, and how have you grown mentally?
Fuck, bro. That's a pretty complex question, man. I mean, if you go back to what we said in the first one, it was UIC Radio, 3 a.m. and the betas. I mean, I was a 18-year-old college freshman, you know. At that point, I wanted to do something like that was for me, as opposed to this Velados that is for the people, right? I don't know. That's a very, very interesting question.
Mind you, he wanted to peep the outline for a fat minute.
I really did want to peep the outline because, like...
But that's the reason we don't let people into the outline, right? Okay. Because being able to think back to these moments and recall it on the spot, it's more emotional rather than let me think about it for a second, because now you're going to recall not only the bad, the good, and the middle. You're going to recall everything and try to filter it as much as you can, right? Because not everybody wants to put, not saying like you specifically, right? But not everybody wants to put out like, damn, this shit happened to me and let me not talk about it. Let me go on to something new. You know what I'm saying? As far as like these milestones in your life, right? Because these are huge milestones. Joining a group and being a part of something really does shape you into a certain person. Whether you stick with it or whether you leave eventually, all those things still stay with you, you know? Specifically, like for me, right? I always recall certain things in certain parts of my life where I was like, fuck, like, damn, that really happened, you know? That's fucked. But you eventually move on, and that helps you grow as a person. Especially mentally, I think that being able to reflect on your past and accept it and then continue to grow, that's especially important for mental health. Yeah. And when I asked you, I was like, elaborate more on mental health a little bit. You were like, well, it connects to everything. I'm like, it does. But how did you get to that point of thinking like mental health connects to everything? Because I think everybody has their own mental health journey where it's like, you know, you don't just fucking say mental health is important out of nowhere, right? It's a bunch of little shit that leads you up to believing that. So for you, what was that?
Well, for me, like, I'm from the south side of Chicago, right? And, like, there's a lot of crazy shit that happens in the south side. And for me, UIC Radio, betas, and 3M was an escape from that, right? In the sort of way. It was, for me, it was like a way to, like, express myself. but also like get away from issues. Um, I, yeah, man, it's you're really hitting like you're really going deep right now, bro. But yeah, man, that's pretty much what it was. Yeah, bro, I don't shit, bro. You got my ass. I'm not gonna lie.
Man, you knew what you were getting yourself into, bro. If
I-
you
I-
if
I
you
did
did
it.
your
I really
if you
did
did
it,
your
bro. I really
research,
did.
bro.
I really did it, man.
If you did your research, you know. So, let me hit you with this one, right? What moment in your life has changed you? That can be a good moment, that can be a bad moment.
Yeah.
But how has it changed you and what was it?
A moment that changed me. So when COVID started, man, I had gotten sick, right? And then shortly after that, my dad got sick, and unfortunately, like passed away. And I don't know, I was like really lost in myself for a while, and I didn't know what to do with myself, even though I had music and I had, Desvelados and Betas and 3 and I was really lost with myself. And I had to get myself out of that like hole. Um, that was first. That was the number one thing for me. Um, at a certain point, I thought that I had gotten myself out of that hole, but I wasn't even like nowhere near it. And then like we lost two of the homies, right, Ainum and Moon, and that's really where I hit. Like I felt like I hit rock bottom. And in between those two moments, like everything that I was doing, was like really, I don't know, like selfish in a way. Um, but I ended up realizing that um, everything that we do has to like leave a mark on this earth, right? Uh, and that's pretty much what I'm like what I'm like working on right now, right? Like what's gonna be the last thing that people will remember me for, right? This is what I'm focused on right now. Everything that's gonna be like long term, that's gonna leave a print after we're gone.
Mm-hmm. That's dope, bro. I really like that message. I always think about that. I really do, because when I think back on my life, right, I don't want to think back and like, damn, I was a regular ass person. I woke up, went to my 9 to 5, fucking slaved away.
And then went to sleep and like did nothing, right?
That's always been like a fear, I guess, and I always knew I was like meant to do something bigger, right? It's just I could never fucking put my thumb on it, right? I never found my niche and what I needed to do. So when it came to time to like leave a legacy, right? It's corny, but like Hamilton, right? In the musical, they're always talking about like you gotta leave your legacy. What are people gonna remember you for? And a lot of people, they're proud of what they've lived for, right? A lot of people have their families, and for some people, that's more than enough that their family remembers them. But when you're a creative, it's like you want people to remember you for so much more and the message you're trying to spread. As far as, that moment that you shared, right? That moment is it's tough, bro, and I'm sorry for your loss. I really am. During the pandemic, if you've watched enough episodes, I mentioned my grandmas that they both passed away in 2021, and I was at Nico Supremo show. I keep saying Supremo, but and he said that this song is for the people that we've lost, and it's called Gone. And in the song, he says, "Pain, pain, pain, go away. I had a bad, bad, bad yesterday. There's too much on my brain." And that the song is basically talking about like he's gonna go drink to forget, so that these memories and the pain that I'm feeling right now just fades away. Fuck, I want to recall the full fucking lyric. Hold on. But we need an escape so bitter. And man, for me personally, like I was taught from a young age, like, don't drink or use a certain, substances. There you go. Certain substances when you're sad, because that's how you become addicted. If you're drinking, you use it to enhance your fucking party, to enhance your happy, right? So when he says this was taught to us at a young age, I think of coping mechanisms. Coping mechanisms go so much further than drugs, alcohol. It goes to fucking just turning away from people and being on your own. For you, what are those coping mechanisms that you've learned from?
That I've learned from people?
One that you use. Two, that you've learned from your family, you know, shit that you learned from a young age. Because as mental health goes, right, you are literally another representation of who brought you up. Although the values and the thoughts have changed and been modified over time, it's still a part of you that was ingrained into you at a young age.
Yeah. So for me, since I was young, man, it's always been music, and it's like not only like beat production or like DJing, but just sitting in a room and playing loud music, bro. That's really what it is for me, man. Like, and my family knows that now. Knows that by now. It could be like noon, or it can be like 11 p.m. Shit, it can be like 4 a.m. and I'm gonna blast the shit out the speakers, bro.
Should have said 3 a.m., bro.
But yeah, man. I mean, that's really what it is for me. Just out loud, man. Sometimes it'll be like in my headphones, and then just jam out, bro. And like sometimes I'll dig through my library and like just look for stuff that I haven't played in a while. Now I do it a lot with Spotify. I literally have like close to 300 playlists, bro, of like just different feelings and emotions, man. And that's really what it's turned into, man. Now, like I'll light up a candle in my room, bro, and that's like something that you rarely hear a guy say, or that is open, that you know that they're open to say. Like I'm that guy, bro. Like I'll do that, and I'm proud of it because like you want to talk about 6 years ago, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, never would have thought of that. And now it's like, yo, I can like I'm in my room. I got the lights dimmed out. I have a candle, and I'm like just jamming out to Spotify playlists, or making Spotify playlists of, you know, what I'm feeling at that moment. And now that's just turned into like a monthly. I have like a monthly playlist that I put out of just jams that I'm listening to. But yeah, I think that's what I do now.
I peeped that. Yeah, on Instagram, the February one,
Yeah,
right?
I did the February one, man. And if you look closely at it, it's like it's always gonna be about 40 to 50 tracks. And a lot of the tracks are like very like chill, like hip hop or like R&B ish. Have some like Afro and like some Latin flavor in there for sure. But that's really what it is, because that's how I've been feeling lately. Just like try to mellow out. I feel like I have like really bad anxiety sometimes, and when I yeah.
Don't get me started on anxiety, bro.
I mean, the thing is, man, like the thing with anxiety is like you have to figure out the best way for yourself to handle it. So that's what it is for me, man, always.
Sometimes I just let it beat my ass low key.
Nah,
like I just be
that's bad, bro.
I just be well. That's my problem, bro. Is my coping mechanism has become just like, man, like music, like you said, blasting music, listening to music. But sometimes like that anxiety just takes over, where it's like, all right, now I gotta go to the gym, and sometimes I don't even feel like doing shit. Like I just go to sleep, bro. And man, there was a little while back where every day I was waking up with fucking anxiety, bro. Like every single day. Like I thought about one thing for a second, and fucking 10 a.m., bro. 10 a.m. throughout the whole day.
Do you like when you wake up, do you like reflect or like meditate or anything like that?
No, my first thing is go on my phone, and I know that's bad because, you know, they just say like technology right away is terrible for you. You know what my problem is when it comes to anything that is like not work, I'm like, fuck, I gotta get this done, and then I'm anxious about it for like the rest of the day. So even when it comes to going to the gym, bro, I'll go to the gym, and if I spend an hour while I'm walking on the treadmill or while I'm doing a mile, I'm like, fuck, I gotta go do this shit. Now I gotta get out the gym as fast as possible. So what I really tried doing is like I'll try walking on the treadmill, right, and doing about 30 minutes and forcing myself to be there for the 30 minutes because one, I know it's good for me, right? Two, it's like I don't always need to be working, but my brain's like, fuck, you gotta go get this done or it's not gonna get done.
Yeah, no, for me it's like my brain is weird. I have to work on everything that I do has to be organized, right? And I don't know, man. Like I write everything down. Like if I show you my phone right now, you'll see every single thing that I have to do for the week. Like any where I have to be. You know, I have my work schedule on there, which is the same every day, Monday through Friday. But like this interview is actually on my like iPhone calendar as well as what I'm gonna do after this. You know, that's just the type of person that I am. And then every morning that I wake up, it's a routine for me. And this is something that I've learned in the past 3 months, like we've been mentioning, right? You know, I wake up and I don't look at my phone at all. Even though it might be next to me, I might like tap it just to see what time it is, just to triple check that I'm, you know, not super late to anything. But what I'll do is like I'll just sit down on my chair on the table and write down what is on my mind at the moment, or any like negative energy that I have just waking up, just so it's released. Right? That's just me. I'm huge on like energy, like that you give out and that you welcome your body to, as well as like exchanges between people, because that's like everything, bro. You can have a great day and then like somebody bumps into you, you feel the negative energy and it's like, damn, like now my day is shitty because I spilled my coffee, you know, or something like that. And just, you know, doing small things like that every single morning, bro, it makes a change and your body will start to like feel different. You know, at least that's what it is for me. And I don't think I've like really told anybody that I do this, but people have, when they see me, they've noticed that I'm much more happier every day, and that my energy is like positive, more than what it was before. You know, so there's that, and then there's also like meditation, which I also like do as well. So, yeah, man, you gotta.
Yeah, I think writing is really it's a dope thing, and it's becoming a lost art. That people are just not writing anymore, but really, yeah, but really writing is like, bro, I'm not gonna lie on some corny shit. Like when you're really into somebody, like I be writing letters, bro. Like because like I said, bro, I'm a hopeless romantic. Like
Hey.
I be fucking saying that shit.
You know what's crazy, man? Like I just like, man, we're in the same boat here, bro. Like I don't put anything out, but like I write poetry, right? Like I'll try to like, and this comes from this pretty much like stems from the same routine every morning, right? I'll write stuff down, even if whether it's negative or positive. I'll make sure that I still write it down, and like later on in the day or like in the nighttime, I'll just like look back at it and see, like, make sure that I don't like, you know, that I don't, if it's negative, I make sure that I don't feel the same way about it. You know, just try and make it positive, if that makes any sense. It makes sense to me.
No, I know what you're talking about. Man, I'm always so afraid to say something negative about myself and anything negative about a situation I'm in, because I feel like once you start talking negative about it, it just makes the situation worse. It's never going to get better. So you got to use positive affirmations, and by being positive about shit, you know, shit will get better. My thing is, bro, I always peep shit about people, right? Like the way that people move, the way that people talk to you, the way that people text you, like you can sense the energy, even a text, bro. And once you start thinking like that, that's when shit goes wrong. You know, when people always send,
You're getting into your own head is really what it comes down.
when people send that we need to talk text,
And you know what, man? But that kind of comes from like a difficult conversation, right? And like I just told somebody yesterday this as well. Like I'm all about the difficult conversations, whether it's a relationship or a friendship. That conversation that people try and like stray away from, I'm with it. Like if you have a problem, like let's sit down and talk about it and figure it out. Because at the end of the day, like I'm not a person that likes to like argue or get into fights at all, man. Like that's, to me, that's negative energy. Like we're all grown people. We can sit down and talk about it and figure out an issue, and you know, go on from there. And that's how you move forward, you know.
yeah, especially when you're holding on to that shit, right?
Yeah.
I always say like let it go, because you need to let go of that, whatever you're going through, hurt, anger, sadness, like all of that shit you need to let go of. And that's ironic coming from fucking Sad Boy Radio, but fucking this is my release, bro. Like every week I come on here and talk about some shit that I went through or some shit that I'm going through. And lately I haven't gone through anything, so I can't.
Yo, I'm on the same boat. I'm on the same boat as you, man. Like I said, like I was in Mexico for like close to a month in December, and that's really where I took some time away from the city and from the issues and bullshit that I had going on here, and really sat down and like reflected on like, all right, what needs to change and how am I gonna make it happen? You know, I came back from like in May. In my homie Ain't No Man passed in May, and then Moon was like 2 or 3 months later. You know, this is like 2 close friends, you know, that everybody knew and loved in the same summer, bro. Like that fucked me up, you know, and everybody would keep asking me like, you know, how are you doing? How are we doing? How can I help? And I'm like, nah, I'm good. Because, yo, I was not good, bro. I was not good. And that goes back to like the coping mechanisms. You mentioned that people would like rely on alcohol and substances, bro. I was like pretty damn near to that point, yo.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing well at all, but you know, when I was in Mexico, like I said, I really sat down and reflected on what I needed to do and how was I gonna make it happen. And you know, gladly I'm here now. But it's like I said, I mean, we're not perfect, so it's everything is like, you know, it's a process. So
And sometimes that's the hardest thing to do, bro. Just sitting down and taking that inward look at yourself to think like, damn, you know, would so and so be proud of me? Would if my fucking, this is how I think, right? If my parents knew about the shit that was going on with me, what would they say? Or if this person knew about it, what would they say? And not that it matters, right? At the end of the day, you're your own person. You're the one that makes the decisions for you, and it only impacts you. But you got to think about, like, damn, am I a shitty person? And, you know, not to say, like, someone's a shitty person, but when you reflect, you're like, that was pretty dirty of me to do.
yeah, or like a certain like, yeah. I mean, yo, I totally agree with that, man. And I don't know, like if you like you said, if you take the time to reflect and really try and change that, man, it makes all of the difference, bro. Like I said, not only in like friendships but relationships, coworkers, all that shit matters, bro. And yeah, bro.
Big Sean said in Win Some, Lose Some, sometimes the best teacher in life is ourselves going through some. Whenever you're going through some shit in your life, people always say that you're not going to learn until you go through it yourself. And that's facts, bro. You, like, one example, right? High school relationships. People always say, like, you think that shit's going to last? And that shit never fucking lasts. And people are like, yeah, it's going to last. No, you'll learn one day, but it's not going to last. So as far as, like, Big Sean saying that shit, Big Sean got bars, bro. Big Sean got bars all over the place. Nobody, he slept on. But yeah, as far as him saying that, I think that whenever you're going through something, you're learning. And the best teacher in life is fucking experience. What I did want to ask you is music and tagging, bro. They're similar but different. Obviously, they're both arts, but what you do for them is different. So explain, like, the main differences for you as far as expression through tagging and expression through music, as well as any other differences you can name.
Yeah, so I mean the time period for me was very different. And I didn't necessarily like really dive into the tagging part. For me, it's just been the art, right? And like the art as far as like spray paint and painting, and I'm really not a great drawer, so that's pretty much all that is, right? And I'm really into like street art and fashion and that side of the culture. But DJing though, I mean, I've been DJing for a minute, and for some time there was some overlap between them, but I it's shit. That's a hard one too, bro. You got some hard questions, bro. Like, yeah, man. I mean, they're both a way to express yourself for sure. Just the tagging thing is not really legal. So there's that. But I mean, people that I know that do graffiti and art in that sense express themselves the same way that I do through DJing. For some people, it's like an adrenaline rush, and that's really what it comes down to, man. Like the fear of almost getting caught. Versus for me, like, I don't know, DJing is like for the crowd and for the people. Like I just DJ'd last week at Zoe's, and it was crazy, bro. Like definitely one of my top 5 sets of all time. Like people knowing all the words, people dancing no matter what I threw on. I think I threw on some African sambo song, and people were just like going in, and I'm like, yo, like that's crazy. I don't even think y'all knew what this was, you know? And they're just dancing their ass off, and that's what it's about, man. It's just like if somebody's doing like a wild style piece on a billboard or something, you can't see what the word says or what the letters say, but it's beautiful because of the color scheme and the placement of everything. That's beautiful to me, bro. I mean, I don't know. Definitely some similarities, but I can't really speak right now on the graffiti itself because I didn't really dive into it, like other people did. So there's that. Because when I was part of 3AM, I was more part of the music side of it. Yeah.
What I did want to ask you, bro, is fucking Ceasedays. Where did you get the name?
What's my name in English?
I know.
Okay.
Wait.
I was gonna say
your name in English.
Yeah, it's my name is Caesar.
Yeah. So Ceasedays. Where'd you get the days from?
Do you know Spanish?
No, not like that.
Oh, it's
Oh.
Diaz, Diaz,
Oh.
but it's just different spelling. So
I didn't know
there's-
your last name.
Oh, that's days in
That,
Spanish,
bro,
though. But like
making
days in
me-
Spanish,
yeah.
though. My fault. Like,
I
shit.
didn't know your last name. I knew your first name. Fucking guy.
You know what, man? Somebody actually like mentioned it. I don't remember which DJ it was exactly because I used to go by something different. And then it also was based on like my brother who was going by like Robbie D or something like that. And that's kind of where that like stemmed from. But I had like I think I met a DJ like a house music or a juke DJ when I was like when I was really younger, and they asked me or I asked them for like, hey, are you so and so? And they're like, yeah, what's your name? I told them my full like government name, and they're like, yo, like, or like Diaz, that's days. I'm like, yeah, and then it just got shortened to C or like to like C. It was like C days. I'm like, oh well, you know, people call me C's already, so like Ceasedays. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna just go for it for now, and then the name eventually just stuck, and you know, it's been almost 15 years later. I'm like, well, it's too late to change my name at this point, so.
I thought it was some emo shit, low key, like cease days, like end of days type shit. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? A lot of people do bring that up too, like or like seize the day, you know. But hey, man, I mean, it's perspective, bro. However you want to think about it.
Well, bro, Mexican culture is obsessed with fucking skulls and like death and celebrating that shit. So I was like,
I got
damn,
the rings
cease
on.
days, bro. Like that shit's raw. You know
I
what
got
I'm
the
saying?
rings on, bro.
Whole time it's his government. So as far as you know, the painting and music, I know you said you didn't dive too much into painting, but being a part of that, what lessons have both of them taught you?
Longevity for sure. I don't know, man. They definitely have a lot of similarities as far as like how it is in Chicago, right? So longevity is one thing. Like you want to do some crazy shit in painting, that's cool, but I mean you're risking your life at the same time. You feel me? Like if you're climbing something really tall or you're on the tracks, like you can always get hurt, you know. But as far as DJing is different, man. You have to like really take your time and sharpen up your craft. And that's, you know, if you focus on the now, you're only gonna stay in the now, you know, and that goes for genres, you know, your personality, how you interact with people. A lot of people burn bridges real quick in the industry, bro. So there's that.
You heard that?
I'm just saying, bro. Like I've been here for a little minute, bro. I'm 27. I've been here for a minute, bro. So there's that. But I don't know, man. It's that's kind of tough too, bro.
All right, bro. It's tough questions out here, bro.
It is tough question. I thought you were gonna ask me like, yo, like I don't even know what you were gonna ask me, bro.
Damn,
That's
bro.
why I asked for the outline.
He really did not do his research like that, bro.
For me, it's been like, and I had told you the day that we met up at Herbal, the day that I seen you, and I'm like, yo, like we're really selective. Me specifically, I'm very selective on like media that I choose to be a part of, and so far it's like, and Cool's the same way too. I mean, a bunch of us are like that. But yeah, I mean, that's just how it is for me. Like I had already peeped your show from like a minute ago, and I was like, yo, it would be super dope to do that, just because on my end, like I interviewed people for 6 years, you know, and like rarely have I been getting interviewed because that's just how I wanted it to be, you know.
Yeah.
It's just and I had said it off camera too. It's like this weird like split between who I am as a person versus like the Ceasedays personality, and sometimes like they mesh together, and sometimes they're like way different too, you know.
Mm-hmm. And just like I was telling you, well, first I want to say thank you, bro, for coming on. You know, you even went out of your way to be like, yo, shoot me a date. You know, how many people would fucking go out of their way to be like, yo, shoot me a date after we already had that conversation? You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you for that. But just like we were talking about, it's the fact that like I feel the same way that you do. That before this show, bro, like nobody knew anything about me like that. You know, my close homies, and that was it. All people ever gathered from me was like partying.
Bro,
They assumed I wasn't smart. Like this whole time,
Yo.
people always assumed like I didn't know what I was doing in school or anything. So when I'd be like, yeah, I got like A's and B's, or I'm about to graduate, they're like, you're about to graduate? I'm like, bro, like I'm not fucking stupid, bro. So when it comes to that, like sharing your personality and showing who you really are, it's like only a select few people get that type of access to you. But as far as like this media form, it's like I've said it on camera multiple times. I never really think that like people catch what I say. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're doing art, you can say whatever the fuck you want, and nobody's gonna fucking question you. Like fucking Juice World, bro. He was talking about how he wanted to die, and nobody ever questioned like, damn, does this dude really want to die or what? Right. So as far as media, it's like, I wish that people would take it a little more serious, especially as far as mental health, because some people can literally tell you like they're about to end their shit, and nobody reaches out, nobody checks in.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's really man. It's sad. It's sad, really. And like we're in an age where a lot of people will like post that on social media, right? Like, if you ever you have Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Like people on Twitter are like, oh, I'm like this close to ending it, and it's like, yo, that's you do it to be humorous and shit, but like, yo, what's really the deeper issue with that, And like I've had my fair share of that, when I was really going through shit, I would just be literally a sad boy on like Twitter and
sad boys
and
for
Instagram,
real.
bro, and like Snapchat and shit, and it's like, all right, well, I'm kind of tired of being like sad and shit, so let me do something about it, and I don't regret that decision, bro. Like now I'm doing a lot better than before, so
yeah. So go ahead and talk about that a little bit. What have you done from that moment that has helped your mental health for the better?
So yeah, well, to go back a little bit, a lot of like my friends were like saying like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Like really, because we'd go out and like instead of being happy, like I'll just like sit down and like just like watch.
Be a sad boy.
Yeah, be a sad boy, bro. Really, what it was, man. And like there was a couple times where I've like expressed to like like my my close friends like what it was really going on, and like at a certain time I didn't even know what it was really, but when I figured it out, I told them like this is what's going on with me, and I had mentioned it off camera, but like right after like Moon passed, Aldrin was the one that spoke out in the funeral, like, hey, like you should probably look into therapy. And I don't think that I've ever told him that, but I'm like, yo, like, shout out to Aldrin, because that's the homie too, but that's really what the action that I decided to take, and yeah, bro, now we're here, so.
Yeah. So if it's too personal, it's okay, but how has therapy helped you?
Oof, there's a lot of different answers to that for sure. I feel like I didn't really believe in myself and what I was doing at all. So that's one thing. But I also didn't understand like how to cope with certain stuff, right? And that goes back to like the music stuff. Like I would sit on my computer and like just like, all right, well, it's some just like not be interested anymore. There was a period of time where I didn't DJ or I didn't go out, and it was like I was sitting in my room depressed, But yeah, man, I mean, I don't really think that I've told many people about that shit either, but yeah, bro, I mean, it's a lot of self-reflection, just believing in myself, really what it came down to. And at the end of the day, it was like, yo, like, I do a lot of shit that makes a difference. So let me just continue to do that shit, because during that time, it was like an awkward pause, right? When COVID started and like the end of the summer, it was like really like a pause in like how focused I was in like meeting my goals and shit. So yeah, bro.
With shit like that, bro, you never realize like who you're impacting. And I think that that's the sad part sometimes, is that people aren't celebrated and appreciated as much as they should be. When people are feeling down, it's like, damn, I read that, I saw that, but let me not check in on them. Let me not go show love to them. And that's why, for me, I try to go out to as many events for people that have come on the show, because they do it out of respect for what I do, and they do it because they just want to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody has ever told me like, oh, like you owe me, or let me get, or you got me next time type shit. You know what I'm saying? It's always been all love. So for me to go back and show that love to somebody else, it's like that's what's most important for me. I just went to Nico's performance on Monday fucking night, bro. I
At,
work at a
Shubas?
yeah,
Yeah.
I work at a school, bro. I had to be up at 6:30 in the fucking morning.
Yeah.
So not to say like, oh damn, like these dudes kept me out past this time, but it's like that's how much I love what I do and love the people that come on, because they really do just do it because they appreciate who I am as a person. And they don't need to tell me that. It's appreciated when they do, but it's like, you're a real one. Sorry, that was a little rant. That was a
No,
little
no,
rant
it
on
was
my end.
it's all good because I definitely feel that, bro, and I felt the same way when I was doing UIC radio, and even now as like Desvelados, when we book certain guests or like invite people out to our stuff, and they come out, like we share a lot of positive energy with each other, and that goes back to like sharing energy, right? But yeah, I mean that's really important, bro, and that's like definitely like I don't know when you first meet a person and you like get the energy from them and shit, like now you know what they're. For me, it's like now I know what your intentions are, and like now I know that I can fuck with you, right? And like from Herbal Notes, when I met you, I was like, I wasn't even really there, my mind was not there just from like that moment, but like now just like listening to you talk and like we have a lot of similar ideas and like the whole hopeless romantic shit. That's real, bro. Like I don't know, man. I mean, it all relates with one another, but like now I know that I can definitely like really fuck with you on a not only like on a business level, but on a mental like level, and that shit's important too. So
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. I'm telling you, when I saw you at Herbal Notes, bro, I was like,
I was zooted, bro. So I'm gonna just let y'all know Herbal Notes. That's the place to be. But like I was over there, bro. Like
I showed up, right? And I peeped you, but I'm like, is that him? And then I was like, nah. And then I peeped your bag, and I'm like, oh, that's him. But like I said, I didn't know if you knew me, because every time we run into each other, we're both fucked up.
because you could run into me when I'm like DJing and shit, like out with the homies, right?
But I be fucked up too. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm like, does this dude even know who I am?
At first, I didn't connect the dots, but then like you turned around for a photo, and I saw Sad Boy Radio. I'm like, there we go.
But yeah, bro, as far as all that, I really appreciate you coming through, and I appreciate the energy. This is the last topic I have on the book, but we can definitely keep going. So Drake says in Emotionless, I know a girl whose one goal was to visit Rome. Then she finally got to Rome, and all she did was post pictures for people at home, because all that mattered was impressing everybody she's known. I know another girl that's crying out for help, but her latest caption is leave me alone. I know a girl happily married till she puts down her phone. I know a girl that saves pictures from places she's flown to post later and make it look like she's still on the go. Look at the way we live.
Oh,
So I mentioned that bar because everybody's definition of happiness is different. Some people put on this facade on social media and show like, man, I'm so fucking happy. And for me personally, I'm afraid to say that I'm happy a lot of the time.
and sorry to interrupt, but it's okay if you're not.
Yeah.
As long as you know what. Are you gonna cry or okay?
I'm looking down.
Okay, as long as you know what that is for you, right? Like not everybody. I mean, you can continue on with your question, but I already know what I'm gonna say. I had this conversation with somebody the other day, man. It's people will make it seem. I mean, going back to that bar, people will make it seem like they're happy when they're really like fucking miserable, bro. And that like kind of creates a domino effect where the person's seeing that it's like, damn, they're in Cancun, they're having the time of their life. But you don't know that they're fucking like doing terrible right now in their own like head, And they're not happy. They just want to show that they're happy. Now that person's gonna go and do the same thing and like, post a picture of going to Rome literally and save the pictures on the phone, right? So I mean, it's I don't know, man. I'm not too huge on the social media, bro, because if it wasn't for like Ceasedays, the DJ and shit, I wouldn't be on any of these apps, bro. To be honest, like. My personal life is like that's personal, bro. I don't put that out there, bro, That's just me though. So
your mental health is everything, bro. And there's a reason why like I have my private Instagram and my fucking Sad Boy Radio Instagram. And I've thought about it. I'm like, maybe I should make the fucking personal one, public, because all I post on there is Sad Boy Radio shit. But eventually I do want to differentiate the two where it's my personal is shit that is going on with me, like my milestones, bro. Like I talk about my milestones, but I want to be able to just post my milestones on my fucking page. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's important to you, though, right? But it is that. Do you think that that's like? Are you looking at other people's shit like, damn, like I should be doing that? Because that's where the issue lies.
I don't look at other people's shit, and it's like, let me go to fucking on a vacation because this person went on a vacation. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was in California for my graduation, I was just out there fucking vibing, chilling, and not even worried about shit. My whole thing is really like, okay, what am I gonna do for the podcast? That's the only thing I think about 25/8, bro. Is okay, what can I do next? Who am I gonna get on next? What outline am I gonna write next? And it's, you know, especially when a lot of people give you the same answer about what's going on in their life, it's kind of hard to be like, okay, well, I just talked about this. What other options do you got? You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where the creative part comes in, is how are you going to change this topic to be something else? Because mental health, I talked about it with Nico. Now we're talking about it here, but in a different sense, and how it's different is the questions that are asked, right? What I did want to ask you is, what is your definition of true happiness?
I don't have an answer for that yet because I don't feel like I've I'm working towards it for sure, but I don't know, man, it's really hard to explain, you know? Like I don't know what it is because I haven't reached it yet. If that makes it, I know it doesn't make any sense to you, but it makes sense to me perfectly, right? Like as long as my family's good, like I'll be good, you know? That's one of the things, like, but I mean, I'm still trying to figure that out for sure. And like it's progress, but it's also like, what do you call it? I said it earlier, man. Fucking whatever, bro. I don't remember either, but it's just like, I don't know, man. Like that's a difficult question, but to answer it, bro, I don't know what that is for me yet. I'm still trying to figure that out. So there's that.
I think it is a difficult question, and I think that's why it's the perfect question, is because just like we said, happiness is subjective and different to every single person.
I don't know. I think part of it for me would be like when I feel like I can do what I want and not feel bad about it, right? Like even today when I go out to DJ, sometimes I feel bad to go out to DJ even though it's something that I like doing.
Mm-hmm. Why do you feel bad?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. Honestly, it's like deeply rooted in like family and shit, like the old school like Latino shit. But I really can't get into that because my family is gonna be watching that shit.
They can beat your ass.
They won't beat my ass, but it's like they don't like. It's like a constant like battle, bro. Like, you know, you shouldn't be out DJing during COVID, and it's like, come on, bro, I gotta make this bread. You feel me?
Nah, I know what you mean. Bro, I get you. Is it like, cause you got older family members and they're worried about that? Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, that's how my dad is, but it'd be like that. As far as happiness, right? Being, like you said, being able to do what you please and what you love to do, just open and willingly. Happiness for me, you know, I didn't even think about my answer for this question. I look at moments, bro. I always look at certain moments that made me feel a certain way. So when I'm sad, when I'm angry, when I'm happy. I've been working at my old elementary school, and you know, when you go to certain places and certain rooms, it brings back memories of shit that happened. And like, I'm working with like preschool through 4th grade, and I've been inside almost every classroom I was in, you know, for fucking years. At elementary school, I went there from preschool to 8th grade. So those little memories keep popping up, and I'm like, damn, what the fuck? You know? But aside from that, I think about like sad moments. You know, I think about fucking night drives sometimes when I was fucking going through it. When I talk about anxiety, I think about this one night where I was just sitting down listening to music, and I'm like, bro, I gotta get out of here. I went to the gym at like 12 a.m. When I think of like happy moments or moments where I was like infatuated with someone, I think back to like shit that we used to do and shit that like that made me happy, you know, type shit. Right. So I could never put a definition on like what my happiness looks like. I just know what it feels like in that moment, right? And like I said, I'm afraid to lose happiness. So when I'm happy, like I remember in my freshman year of English or sophomore year of English, they asked us, they're like, "Are you happy on a scale of 1 to 10? Write how happy you are right now." And I didn't want to put 10 because I was like, I'm afraid that shit's gonna like, yeah. And so I put like 8 or some shit, like some stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? For you, are you afraid to lose happiness?
Not afraid to lose it. I don't know. I kind of see life as like it has its moments, right? Just kind of how you said it has its moments. But your definition of happiness and is gonna change throughout time, right? Because if you think about when you're younger, like, oh, I want to be happy because I want to be a firefighter or whatever, and that's it. That's it. Like it's because of the job that you have, or when you're in high school, or whatever. Like that whole like young high school love. Like, oh, when I'm with you, I'm my happiest, and then it's like y'all break up, and it's like terrible. I mean, now that we're grown up, we have a different like idea of what happiness is, and that's consistently gonna change. So I don't know, bro. Like I'm not afraid to lose it, but I'm currently in the search of what it is for me. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Are you afraid that you'll never obtain it?
No, because for me, it's about like the search for it, right? Like it's like the road to finding it. That's what it is for me, bro. Because like you'll come across moments, like we just said, right? You come across moments and milestones. Like for me, it was like I don't know, a moment of happiness for me as far as like DJing and music goes, is like when I DJ'd for like the Wu-Tang Clan. Like that was massive for me, bro. And I was like super happy at that time. And then there's also moments like what I'm doing now with Tribe. Like every single Thursday, that's kind of like a therapeutic moment for me because I'm around loud house music for like 4 hours, for the night, and that's like happy for me, But yeah, I mean, I'm not afraid to like never find it. I mean, the road to it is what it is for me, and I'm just interested in finding out what the light at the end of the tunnel is, for sure. Like, yeah, bro. I mean, it's a variety of things, bro. I can't really explain it fully because I don't understand it fully at the moment, But like, yeah.
It's almost like the chase, bro. Sometimes the chase is better than when you finally fucking get it. That's how I see it. I think that, man, those definitely were two heavy ass questions that
bro,
I was
all
like,
of your questions were heavy as hell. Shit. But it's cool. I mean, bro, it's stuff that you don't really like talk about, bro. And I know at the beginning I had mentioned like that I like having tough conversations, bro, and that's really what it comes down to, bro. Like a lot of people don't like to have tough conversations when it comes to like relationships or like or like the bad qualities that you have, and that's I don't know, like, bro, shit, I'm all about tough conversations, bro. Like, so fuck it.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, for the past few weeks, I've been having trouble writing my outlines. Like, I've just been, I would sit there for hours trying to find songs, trying to find, like, how am I gonna connect this? How does this go here? And for yours, it was literally, like, I probably wrote it in 20 to 30 minutes. And I was like, damn. And for me, if I do something that quick, I'm like, it's not gonna be good. Like, I just think that in my head I get into it, right? I'm like, it has to be longer. It has to take me longer, right?
Well, that's probably just you being hard on yourself, bro.
You're your toughest critic. I'll definitely say that. I learned that throughout like this period of time, and I don't want to talk about how we're about to hit a year because I keep talking about it every episode, and I'm like,
a year of what?
A year of doing this, bro. Yeah. Everybody's like, what are you gonna do? I'm like,
hey, wait till you hit 6, bro. And like you'll start to notice that like every interview starts to feel different too, So
every interview is different, and like I said, I really appreciate anybody who's come on, anybody who fucking shares my shit. I'm telling you, I know you know the feeling. It's like when somebody shares your shit and somebody like comments and
for me it's like kind of like the jitters, bro. Like I kind of get the jitters in a sense. Like even now with like a mix or like I'll be DJing somewhere and they'll take a photo of me and it's like, yo, that's love, bro. Because they didn't, at the end of the day, they didn't have to do that, but they did, So
as far as likes on a post, likes are cool, but like once you get a share, it's like, damn, that's real love. You know what I'm saying? Because you went out of your way to do that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Other than that, that's really all I got for you. You know, I really had fun with this conversation and talking about mental health. Not a lot of people talk about it. I'm glad that you were so open to talking about the therapy and talking about everything, because those are moments that make you, and those are things that will forever stick with you, no matter how old you get. You got anything else to say?
I have questions for you. How much unhappiness do you think that a relationship weighs? Like, how much does a relationship weigh on unhappiness for you personally?
At the moment, it doesn't. I think that throughout time, there was one person, and this is my villain origin story, right? I've probably told it multiple times, but there was one person that, like, I had to be perfect for, bro. Like, literally perfect.
That's already a rough start.
The definition of
That's already a pretty bad start. I'm not gonna lie.
the definition of perfect, bro. And I was perfect.
Well, why did you have to be perfect for that person though?
Cause that's like, I don't know, bro. That's what the person expected of you. It's like when someone listen, bro. Let me tell my story, bro. Don't judge me. But perfect, right? Don't be late to shit. If we say a time, show up on time, type shit. And it's not a lot to ask for, right? If somebody tells you like, oh, I'll pick you up at this time, like, just show up at that time. But I would go above and beyond, bro. Like, this girl I was buying flowers for, type shit. Like,
Ooh, I just bought flowers yesterday.
yeah, had my ass, bro. Had my ass wrapped up. As far as that, like, my happiness never depended on it. I feel like it enhanced it. But when shit was broken and falling apart, it always, like, tore me down with it until, like, a week or two later, I was fine. But the person, toxic shit, bro, would come back.
Toxic relationship.
Yeah, toxic relationships, bro.
Can't
So
relate, bro.
fuck it.
I don't do toxic, bro.
Dude, toxic. That's our favorite on the show, bro.
Really?
No, fuck. But yeah, bro, it was just one of those things where it would tear down and bring back up. And now at this point, I'm so focused on what I'm doing. And everybody that's around, any girl that has, I've talked to throughout the time of the show, they've never been my number one priority. And I always made it clear, you will not be my number one priority. Yeah. If you want to be around, please be around. I appreciate the company. I appreciate everything that you're going to do. And everything that I do for you, I hope that you appreciate. And one day it'll be a memory that you can cherish. Do I think that we're going to be here forever? Probably not, because in reality, you're going to want something more from me. You're going to need something more from me, and that's something that I can't give.
How do you know that's what it is?
That's the situation?
Yeah.
Because I think of relationships and I have an idea of what you're supposed to feel, the type of feeling that you're supposed to get. And maybe once you felt that once, you never get it again. But that idea is something that I continuously chase, and if I don't feel that, it's like, I don't think you're gonna be here for a long time.
All right. Yeah. But I mean, the good thing is that you like have that conversation with the other person, because what happens a lot now with fucking social media, bro, it's always fucking social media, is that people don't communicate that shit, bro, and they'll like lead people on, bro, and like that's how, that's, I don't know, to me that's like fuckboy behavior, bro, and I always bring that shit up, bro, because that's like, it's garbage to me, bro. Like, I'm not a fan of it.
It is garbage.
I'm not a fan of it. I fucking hate fuckboys, bro. Like, fuck y'all if you're a fuckboy.
I mean, bro, honestly, yeah. I mean, it's trash. And that's why I've always made it a point to be like, what do you want? Where do you think this is going to go? How long are you okay with it just being like this? Once you are done, let me know. And we'll have that conversation again. But if I tell you that it's not going to be anything more, like, you're not going to change my mind. I can't do anything about it. So I've told you from the beginning, if you want to stick around and, hurt your feelings, hurt your own feelings in a sense, it's like, you did it to yourself.
That's pretty, yeah, bro. I don't agree with you on that one, man.
Bro.
Look, man, me personally, I'm all about like open communication. Like, that's just what it is for me. Like,
so my bad. Okay. So tell me, how would you go about that situation if you've told somebody the situation? If you've told somebody like this is what it is.
It's not, but that's what it is for you, though. You feel me? So the conversation that I would say is like, and just from the jump, bro, just because I just had this conversation, right? It's like, yo, like, you have to understand, like, the other person's, like, boundaries, right? And in order to do that, it's like, for me, like, I have to understand what type of person you are through your experiences, right? I'm really a person that wants to understand what type of person you are and, like, the shit that you've gone through, just because that, to me, that defines what you, like, who you are, right? That's just me. Quote me. Nah.
That's the clip right there.
That's the clip right there. That's just me as a person, right? Like, I always try to, like, never overstep boundary, but also understand what the other person needs. And, like, the problem with people now is that they put their wants above the other person's needs. You see what I'm saying? Like, you want something, and then but you don't listen to what the other person needs in the relationship, right? So I don't know. In that situation, bro, like, because from what I just said, like, you would have to have that conversation, bro. Like, have the conversation. What do you expect out of this, or where are you at right now, right? And it's like, if you're not ready for a relationship, then that's not, just have the conversation, bro.
I mean, we are having that conversation. That's the thing. You're having that conversation. You're letting them know where you are at. Yeah. This is how I think, right? It's if I let you know where I'm at and you still choose to be around.
Right, but what I'm saying is, right, before you continue with that, has that person told you where they're at?
Where they're at.
Or have you asked
like
that
what,
person?
Of course. Yeah, of course we have that conversation of this is where I'm at. What do you want? What do you expect?
All right.
And, I don't tell them, like, yeah, maybe we can make it official, like, 3-4 months later. Like, no, it's never a conversation of we'll see what happens down the line type shit, because I know the lines. I know the fucking lines. I know.
What lines?
What do you mean, what lines? We'll see what happens, or we'll talk about it when we get there type shit. Like, I know the lines, bro. I don't use those lines because I don't ever want to be in the position where I'm like, yeah, I fucked up. Yeah, I fucked you over for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's facts though, bro.
Yeah.
I never want to be that person, bro. Like, if I'm ever that person, like, I feel like I failed as a human and as a man, bro. Like, just because of all that fuckboy shit that we said that is going on, bro. Like, I can never be that, man. Like,
you weren't like that back in the day?
Nah, you know what's crazy, bro? I've never been like that, bro. No. I have too much of, like, I feel like it's gonna, like, be in my conscious forever, and and I also I told somebody this yesterday as well. Like, I when I see shit like that that's around, like, my circle, bro, I'll call it out, bro. Like, I'm not with that at all, man. But back in the day, nah, bro, not at all.
What I always say is, bro, hurt people, and that's because, like, the reason someone is hurting someone, it's because that's what they learned from someone else. That's the way they were treated by someone else, and shit, you don't even realize it. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of the times it's just subconscious. And you know what I read the other day? It was a TikTok. I be peeping shit on TikTok. TikTok was like, maybe I can't accept love or anything healthy because all I've ever experienced is toxic shit, right? And you can't blame that, right? But sometimes, like, I thought about it.
You could blame that, though.
I thought about it subconsciously. Like, maybe I'm just chasing shit. I'm chasing that toxic feeling again, right? Yeah. Because to me, that's what felt good, and that's what felt like love. But at this point, it's like, you need to fucking get your shit together.
But you said that you can't blame them. You could blame them because there's, like, you can be the person to stop that shit, right? Like, all right, I understand, like, if somebody says, oh, okay, well, like, for example, if you're talking about yourself, right? No, I'm just asking. You're talking about yourself?
What, as far as that situation? The toxic shit? Yeah.
Okay. So if you say, like, hey, like, damn, that's what I like, the toxic shit, like, yeah, that's what you're going to give out again. But instead, you can be like, hey, like, I understand that this certain situation wasn't right, and I can change that by treating somebody else.
Well, I know I know right, for 100% that situation wasn't right.
I understand, but, like, not everybody thinks that, and that's the issue, bro. Yeah. People, like, take shit on Hoodville too seriously, and we'll we'll actually like partake in that, and that's like bullshit to me, bro. Like, cause like the future memes, bro, all that shit. Like, dude, like, man, like dating in Chicago is fucking terrible, bro. Like, I don't know. I've never, like you said, I personally have never made it a priority, bro. So now I'm like coming in, and it's like, damn, like, shit, like it sucks, bro, because all these people have messed with people that I know, and it's like, bro, like I'm not like that, bro. You know what I mean? I also don't believe in one night stands. That's me personally. Like I have a certain discipline that I follow for myself, and that's one of those things, bro. Like I don't do toxic shit, and like or like involve myself in that type of shit as far as like relationships go. And like I also like I don't do one night stands, bro.
My boy got standards.
I got standards, bro, for sure. But it's more than that, man. It's just like for me, it's a self-respect thing, bro. Like, I don't know. I just have certain ideas when it comes to that. And as you said earlier, like for me, like I'm a hopeless romantic, bro. That's just me, man. Like I will buy somebody flowers, you know, and I did that shit fucking yesterday. So
It's nice, bro. It's nice to be able to be like, damn, I'm gonna go get this person some flowers, you know, type shit.
facts. And that, hey, man, that person, like, for me, like, that person is, like, super special for me, you know what I mean? And I hope that's included in there, because you know who you are.
Yeah, I think that being able to spread that love, and that's my other thing, bro, is that what's it called? When you say how much does a relationship affect your happiness or impact it, right? I feel like I have always been the one that was giving, right? That even now I don't feel like damn I'm receiving as much as I put out. And I wouldn't say that it bothers me. I would say that I notice it, right? So that's one thing about a girl that like I notice is like how much effort and how much are you willing to give me, because everybody else has always been take, right?
I don't know. It really does depend on the person, man. But a lot of people won't, like, give until they're ready to give. And that's what I've come to realize now, you know? Like, some people are so quick to give, and other people won't be, you know? But you have to, like, be aware of, like, what it looks like for that person, right? Yeah, because a lot of people, bro, like, you won't see it coming until, like, they really understand what type of person you are. It's really complicated, man, but it's like it goes back to that whole like energy thing, man. Like if you feel the energy from the beginning and it's like, yo, like you're not giving me the same energy that I'm giving you, then like you have to be aware of that and like figure out why that is, you know, kind of. So
Yeah, bro. I mean, like you said, understanding what that person has gone through and those emotions that are there for them and the emotions that aren't there for them, right? A lot of the times emotions become uh, detached from certain people because of certain situations. I definitely felt that one. So just understanding that, right? I think that I'm going to give an example, right? Not to put anyone out there. When people get cheated on, right? Especially, like, that's so common nowadays, bro, that I not only do I not want to ever cheat on somebody, but I don't ever want to make somebody feel like that they're worthless. Not once that happened to them, I don't want to do that a second time to them. That's even more like it's fucked up to do once, but to make them feel like that again after they trusted you not to, that's fucked up.
yeah, that's definitely fucked up, bro. I mean, that's why I told you I'm not with that fuckboy shit, bro. Not at all, man. Cause it's like, yo, like, dude, people are I don't know, man. People can break, right? Like that's how I like to think about it. Like we're not perfect, bro. Like people have emotions, just like you and I have emotions. Like women have emotions too, bro. And like I don't know, man. Like that's once you hurt somebody like that, bro. It's hard for them to like trust another person like that, right? And like for example, let's just say that you were a fuckboy and I'm not, right? This is just a situation, right? And like if you hurt a person, right? Like that person's gonna have trouble trusting me now, even though like I really don't do that fuckboy shit. You feel me? Like that's just how I think about it. Like damn, like now it's now I'm affected too because that's just how I think about it, bro. And that's the reality of it. And it's just an example, y'all. So he's not. I don't know if he's a fuckboy or not. So,
Yeah. No, it's from Big Sean. Beware. It's not a bar, but it's the same concept, right? Okay. Then she texts me like, "Why you still talk to my mama? How the fuck you run around with condoms? Why you make me get this tattoo, man? Fuck this tattoo. You the reason why I wasn't single in college. What? All because I had you. I can't say that word. I don't even have you. How am I supposed to get past you?" And she called the next guy spinning some real shit. Now they problems that he got to deal with.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, it's fucked up, bro. It's really fucked up. Like, I don't know, man. And like, bro, it's really shit. We can keep talking about this for days, bro. Like, I don't partake, bro. I don't play that shit, bro. I'm really like, when I fuck with somebody, bro, like it's 100% real. I don't play no fucking games. I don't do that shit, bro, because people can break, bro, and like people have shit going on in their lives, bro. Like, I don't want to be that person that makes it worse, bro. Like, that's so terrible because I would hate it for it to be me, so I'm not gonna pass that on to somebody, like for me, like even like relationships, friendships, all that shit, like I want to see somebody grow and like be the best version of themselves, like whether that's with me, around me, or if there's any way I can help. That's the type of person that I am, man. Like, instead of making your life harder and more miserable, bro, like I want to make sure that you're the best you, and that's really it, man.
Man, and I can go on about fucking the concept of love and the way that everybody is impacted by certain things, It could be the smallest thing, like, bro, you could talk to somebody for a week and the way that you treat them will always stay with them. And they're going to want to either replicate that or they're going to realize what they don't want around them. So I think that as far as love and relationships, bro, it's really, you just got to don't be an asshole, Obviously, you're not an asshole because, man, this is Mr. Perfect, though.
I'm not, nah, I'm far. Hey, I keep saying it, man, I'm far from perfect, bro. It's just like I know what I want, and I know what I want to stay away from, And it goes back to, like, self-discipline, bro. I'm, like, when it comes to relationships, bro, I'm, like, I'm very disciplined with myself, man. And it's, like, amongst other things, but that's just, like, one of the things that was brought up, so.
Nah, that's dope, bro. Honestly, I can only say positive things about you. You really brought positive energy and just, you even were teaching me right now, it's not many days where someone comes on the show and teaches me some shit and, tells, I really kind of look at it now like a sit down, like, yo, like, don't be a fuck boy.
That's
shit.
what I do. I told you I'll call my people out for that shit, so.
That'll be all, guys. Thank you for watching Sad Boy Radio. I appreciate all of you. I really appreciate Ceasedays for coming through. Like I said, bro, he hit me up just to be like, yo, like, send me a date. So I really appreciate that. Once again, Sad Boys for real. Thank you all for watching. And, man, if you sat through a whole hour, you're a real one. All right. Peace out.
This is Sad Boy Radio.
Broken pieces, who's to blame? Ask me.